Hello, everyone. Thank you once again for joining Empowerment Network this evening. My best friend, Brother Keith, and myself, we are bringing another exciting topic, and it is the continuation of trusting the process. So today we are looking at the fact that when you trust the process, the key that is key. So the key to long-term success is trusting the process. I don't know why I'm not able to say it. So, guys, we just want you to join in this conversation and see where it takes us to. Welcome, Brother Keith.
Welcome, welcome. Good to be here again. Comfort with you and another segment. And I'm excited about what we're about to share. And I hope that if you're watching, you will share this, let others know so they too can get the great, great, awesome conversation.
All right. Exactly. So, guys, yesterday we were talking about Ash's vision and all of those things. When you trust the process, you look at the vision and you see all he's doing, all we do is appreciate him. And of course, today we still want to continue on that line. If you want to have a long term success, one thing you need to do is be resilient, trust the process, stay where you are, fix your eyes on the goal, on the bigger picture, right? There's way so much we just have to look at. And then, we know that as a company, our company has a big heart. That is Mr. Mufara. That is the business we're in. That's the movement we're in. It's all about heart for humanity. It's about artificial intelligence with a heart. But one thing is still lacking is that everybody cannot handle the process. That's where the whole issue is, my brother, Keith, brother Keith. Because like we were saying yesterday, I look at what Ash is doing. I can always say this over and over again. It's like him trying to pull a mountain, like to move a mountain, literally move a mountain. It takes strategy, it takes time, it takes planning, it takes going back to the drawing board. If you move it and it's not coming there and stuff like that, I don't want to go deep into that. But then we wish everybody could understand and handle the process. Say, listen, it doesn't happen overnight. That is where we begin to get it. That is where we know that everybody is getting it. So, Brother Keith, if you think that I'm freezing or there's something, you have to warn me because we don't want to keep our people, waste our people's time here. So many things, they remain unsaid. Like when Mr. Mufare comes, you read a lot more from his body language and not actually from what he says, because he cannot. He has tried before now to tell us a lot, to keep us in the know. And what happened? What happened happened. So many things happened. Betrayal, pulling him steps back and all of those things. And we got ourselves to some point where we were like, oh my God. So the fact that he's not saying a lot, it leads to speculations and confusion and stuff like that. No, no, no. We don't need to be confused. We don't even need to speculate, because it's just like you are trying to peek into his mind, and then you think that maybe no, it's just if he says I am coming, take just that tiny bit, because what he tells us is all we need to know. So there's no need to be too confused. You're confused because you want to know a bit more than you need to know, or you want to know some things prematurely, which does not work like that. Things only have to be delivered to you maturely. When you have a premature baby, what happens? You stay longer in the hospital, you have illnesses to deal with, you have other stuff to deal with, and stuff like that. It's not different with what Mr. Mufara is doing to us. So he has often admitted, like, that he's not a traditional businessman. I hope that this makes sense, and I'm happy that I'm with my brother. I'm with you all. Everybody should chip in their own quota of what they think about what we are saying here, right? Mr. Mufara is not a traditional businessman. Why? Because he does his things differently. He has kind of breached the order. He has defied the order in which the normal things happen. Because if it's not abnormal, it's not Mr. Mufare. If it's not the other way around, it's not Mr. Mufare. If it's not making sense, it's not Mr. Mufare, because he does it differently, and then he is doing it for you and myself. Others do it for themselves, for a host of friendship and for social class and stuff like that. I don't just want to go on and on and on, because I know that my brother is here with me and he's got so much to deliver. So, bro, I hand it over back to you.
Wow, wow. Listen, you said it right. Comfort, as before, is different. He does things differently. And he said it in his own mouth. I don't come like a businessman here. We know he has a big heart. But I'm going to start off with this because I think we all can relate to it. There are people, excuse me, there are people who will take this video right now, what we're saying, and they will do their so-called review or your preview, and they will criticize what they probably think they understand, but they don't understand. But I'm going to use COVID-19 as an example of what we can relate to. Prior to COVID happening, there were people who were planning to open businesses. There were individuals who were planning to travel, do exploits, migrate, and a whole host of things that people are planning to do prior to COVID. When COVID happened, a lot of businesses and entities and plans got derailed. A lot of plans never came back, never got to live to see the light of day again. Some went through a process of time and re-emerged. But you can't say because the business did not come to fruition, it means that it wasn't real in the office when they had to join and they had the meetings and they put things together. That was real for them. However, they did not foresee such a disaster or an impediment, but it does happen, and that's a part of life. So for those people who may find this video and you may hear someone criticize this company and make us look like we're crazy and we're looking for some pie in the sky, let this video go down in history and be a note to you and to the world that there are some facts that I'm going to share with you in this video. On Passive have products that we used. I actually had we had something called it O Trim that we used the O Trim and shorten links, long links. I've done it. I have them right now. I can show it to people if you want to see it. Okay, we use the O Connect. I used it. I know folks who I shared it with, they use it for their therapy session. Some use it for schooling for their kids. That's documented. So we have real hard facts as to what things have been. So some folks would say, we don't understand why these people may come together and keep talking about this company and keep so-called regurgitating things. But maybe you need to know this. We're not forced to be here. We're not contracted to be here. We're not paid to be here. We're not hoodwinked or twisted in any kind of way to be here. We are excited about what we've seen, and we've seen enough and heard enough to say, I want to be here. So those folks, to me, I find to be a compliment. If you can take any of our videos and decide to have a preview of it, because the day is going to come when that video is going to be a blessing, because it's going to prove that what we're saying, we weren't crazy. And that's the point that I want to say first, and I'll come back to another point later on. But Comfort, you take it from there.
Exactly, Brother Keith. I'm just happy when you mentioned this, because if some people think that we come here every day and regurgitate everything, there's nothing wrong in that. It's because we have to regurgitate because we have just one thing, one business we're talking about. We're not talking about different things. So why should we be changing stuff? We're saying the same thing every day, on and on and on and on, because that's the only one thing we have to tell people. That's the only thing we have to present to the world. So I'm happy regurgitating it, and we will do it over and over and over again. We're proud of ourselves doing this, right? Because we know what is waiting for us. When you talk about we have used products, I am a testimony of it. I have used products. We have done Restream. No, sorry, the link, the product.
O Trim.
O Trim, thank you.
Yes.
We have used O Trim, I've trimmed countless
Mhm.
number of links and stuff like that. We have used O Connect over and over and over again. And moreover, Brother Keith,
Yes.
people have made money from this business. So it's
Yes.
not as if, before people complain, before people derail themselves, before people stop seeing the vision, we should remind ourselves that we are here in the phase two of the business, because phase one is history. In the phase one, we've had education, we've waited for the products to build from scratch to where it is. We've had the event at the Burj Khalifa, we've had what we did in Hyderabad, we've done humanitarian stuff out there when there was trouble somewhere in the Middle East, or somewhere in Asia. We saw how
Yes.
our CEO was powerfully represented out there. They did whatever they did, right? So we are now just moving on to phase two. It's not as if there's a delay as such. It's just that things are moving as planned, but because sometimes when we get distracted by those naysayers who have nothing to offer, can never have my attention anyway, right? So it feels like I'm lagging. If you feel that I'm lagging, you take over, Brother Keith. God, I don't want to talk and people don't hear me. So if you think that it's not going well, you take over from me so that we don't. Yeah, is all right.
Yeah. Yes. So far, it's good. Now, I don't know what it will sound like after it's completed, but for now, you're clear. I'm hearing you.
Okay.
Audience is hearing you, and audience too. If you hear something that's not clear, don't be afraid to leave a note or comment and say, "Hey, we can't hear." But so far, so good.
Exactly, guys. Yeah, let us know in the chat if I'm not, if there's something you're not hearing, let us know really quick so that we switch. It's good that I'm with my brother. Go ahead, Brother
Yeah,
Keith.
there you go. And to add to your point, you see, there are people that would also comment that they will name that product or that product, and they would say, "Oh, they cost X amount, and it's a low cost, and it's so and so on."
Hmm.
But here's what folks don't understand: is wanting to be a consumer, or a customer, or a buyer, and it's a whole nother ball game to be a owner and an earner and leave a legacy. So what some folks don't understand, like about a product like O Connect, is that most of this company's products is really about big businesses. They're the ones who are trying to save thousands, millions. So the folks who are just maybe sole proprietors or little small business, even to and there, they're not the one that is mainly geared towards. They will use it, they will find use of it. I'll use it myself, but I'm not the main audience for that. The main
Right.
audience are these big companies who are spending 10,000 a year, 20,000 a year, 30,000 a year. All right. They're the ones who are going to find these products useful and beneficial to their bottom line. All right. It's said it's said it's going to be about 70 to 75% of businesses that are going to be attracted to what we have to offer. It's not the little guy here. A lot of folks can go on Google, say it's free. They can go on Zoom and say, I get a free thing here, or Restream, or whatever you want to call them. Yeah, but is that changing your life? Is that changing your financial trajectory? Is that leaving a legacy because I use these products? What this company is doing, it is giving you an option to not only have useful products, but to change your financial trajectory, to change your family legacy. That's a whole different ball game. All right. So I'm a musician, and I've written many albums over the last number of years. And you want to know that your music gives you some kind of royalty. All right. So I know it is to get a royalty check. It didn't come right away, but because I had ownership of it, I was able to get some royalty. And there's a topic that we want to discuss in the future, and it's going to be about ownership. There's a power in that, and so that's why I want to really stress this element of what we're saying when it comes to folks being empowered. Being empowered is not about charity service here, because, like I said, most of the reason why people fail is because of the regimen that they have to do and go through, and it does not work for the typical average person. It just does not work. So there is now a new thing that's carved out for that grandma who may think that I'm 65, I can't do this anymore. I'm outdated with the computer age, or that single mom who has 3, 4 kids don't have the time to really spend time to learn these things. Excuse me. And that's why we are excited about this. It's about empowerment. And I like the title of your show, Empowerment Network. That's what it's all about. My channel says next level living, going to the next level. Ownership. Comfort, take it from here.
Exactly. I know. I think there's so much in common about your title and mine, because you get empowered so that you get to the next level, right? So there's something. Listen, guys, this is all what Mr. Mufara is all about, right? So it's all about empowerment. That's what makes him different. That's what makes him not the traditionalist, because the traditional businesses, they give you a tiny bit of it and then they keep the rest for themselves. They get you go work for them and then they sit on their couches and have the fun and do whatever they do and so on. But Mr. Mufarek turns it around. He rather goes to work on your behalf and on my behalf. That's why many people don't even get it. That's why they think like it's too good to be true. I like how Susie McRae would say it's really too good. However, yes, it is true, right?
Yeah.
He is doing that,
Mhm.
Unfortunately, many people, they get misled by false or exaggerated narratives when they joined. I think this was your idea. This actually came from you, brother Keith.
Mhm.
I'll go first, but then I think you should come back to this, because when you said this, I said we need to hammer on this for people to know. Whoever
Yes.
presented this business to people, however you presented it, is how they came in, and that's
Mhm.
how they've been looking at it, and that's how they get misled. So we just want to respect what Mr. Bufara is doing to us. It goes back to the fact that he is not traditional. He is very different. The way things are done is totally different with Mr. Mufara.
Yeah.
Making it, that's what it makes it really hard for people to like see beyond the good intentions that this man has got for us. Why is he doing all this? He
Yes.
doesn't need them, to be fair. He is a self-made person. He's good. He's already a successful person. He's got enough for his family. Why is he doing this? People don't see it. People abuse what his good intentions just because we're either a bit not very, very informed about the whole thing or stuff like that.
Yes.
The universal truth about online business is that about 98% of people fail online. But Mr.
Yep.
Mufari comes and says, this 98 is what I'm interested in. You will
Mhm.
make it this time around.
Mhm.
Whatever amount of money you've ever watched go down the drain, you will recover it double, triple, and many, many million more times. That's why
Yes.
people don't get it, because like whoever did this, but yes, somebody is doing it this minute. How about that?
Yes.
Give it a chance, sit down and listen and ask questions and understand. Follow it, be patient, be resilient, because like they say, what never kills you only makes you stronger. And
Yeah.
there's no way. The road to success is challenge, it's difficulty, is speed breaks and stuff like that. So what do? You need to use them. Like I would say, they put blocks on the road, you use them as stepping stones and you climb to the next level. You don't say,
Yeah.
oh, they blocked the road, I can't pass. They say, no. If you have roadblocks and stuff like that, say, all right, it's time for me to get to the next level, mount on it and go up. You don't retreat, right? That is what Mr.
Yes.
Mufara is doing. And
Mhm.
if everybody looks at it like that, we will know that, listen, this whole thing here, there's nobody who can stop it, like he rightly says, because he
Yes.
himself, if this business were to be stoppable, Ash would have stopped it, but he
Yes.
can't, because it's not his mission. He's only fulfilling something that God is using him as an instrument to
Yes.
bless the world and to change lives.
Mhm.
That is where it comes. That is where his corruption to the correction to the corruption comes in.
Mhm.
Because
Yes.
before now, I know people who have done these businesses online, the multi-level things. I know that people who sell some products, they say you are not allowed to run ads. You are only supposed to sit here and speak yourself out to dehydration, and then
Yes.
make money, and then the other person on the top of the pyramid takes it home, and then you sit there looking at me.
Yes.
But that's not
Yes.
what Mr. Mufara is doing. Because what
Mhm.
he is doing, he is building a business for you. he gets the products for you. So here are the products. Buy them, leave them in the marketplace. When I sell them, if your profit is 25%, you take it home. So if you buy it for $75 and sell it for $100, 25% is your gain. You keep the rest and it keeps going on and on. You don't share it with anybody. But that's not been the case. When people sell and they make a profit of 25% or whatever, it has to start trickling down from the pyramid. By the time
Yeah.
it gets to you, you are left with little or nothing. That's
Yes.
not what Mr. Mufara is doing.
Yes.
That's what makes him unorthodox. That's what makes him different. That's
Yes.
what makes him stand to correct the corruption. So all we
Yes.
need to do is like, thank you, keep on keeping on. So like what we were saying yesterday, we said sometimes if you feel that you've been here for a while, maybe just take a walk, right? Keep
Hmm.
it for some time. That's us. Yeah, like me, a couple of months ago, the beginning of sometime this year, I had really difficult times. I had to sit down, shut down for a couple of weeks, right? When you go out there, you go back, you just go for a walk, take a deep breath, and then come back. It's okay to shut down a bit and just say, I'm not doing this for a while. I'll just go away. I'll just go out of this community for a while before I come back. And then you come back refreshed. So when you are going away, it doesn't mean that you get derailed or something like that. Because while you walk away for the meantime, keep on refreshing your accounts, knowing that they will come back and you will need them. Those are the things we are supposed to be doing. You don't have to be here 24 hours around the clock. You don't have to do a video if you can't do one, because you don't need to do it. That's not what defines your success in this business anyway.
Yes.
So it's just all good. It's all good, bro. So I let you go.
Oh, oh yes. Oh yes. 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 It's good to wait. It's good sometimes to get away, get refreshed, and just kind of get yourself restarted again. But some people think that we're trying to save the world. Some folks have this idea. The world is filled with a lot of ills and problems. What Unpassive is trying to do is make a dent. Make an impact. All right. And so there's a massive work, but we can do a lot more to impact lives. If you can impact 10,000 lives opposed to 10 million, which would you prefer? The choice is pretty simple. All right. The more you can impact lives. And so we see it by the grassroots, the foundation that is in so many countries already. So it's going to impact people in every country, or in the countries that it is in. Folks think that, okay, fine, we can't register now. All right, we can't register now. Well, okay, there's a reason for that too. Once we could, so now we let you know that we're going to be able to do that again. You'll be ready for that moment when it happens. So there's no shame in having setback. There's no crime in having difficulty or challenges. We get back up again and we keep it moving. And that's what's going to happen with Unpassive. Excuse me. I have a little coffee, but I'll be fine. I'll get through this.
Sure.
Yeah, but folks think because there is some kind of break or slow down, it means the end. I mean, I just observe the weather pattern: winter, spring, or summer, fall. And during fall, the leaves are gone, and winter, the leaves are definitely gone. All right, and it looks like the tree has no life in there. All right, the tree standing there, but because it's rooted, it is still getting that sustenance. You get the nutrients that it needs, and so it stands. It doesn't fall over because the leaves are gone, and it doesn't look plush and green anymore. And as soon as spring breaks, what happens? Here comes the green again, the lush again. That's life cycle. And so we're not perturbed or disturbed because we had some pushbacks. And in fact, I've heard Marty said it, and I've said it too, that I think it was all for the good of not just us, I think also for our CEO. And who knows, maybe, just maybe, this time is testing people And maybe it needs to weed some people out of this because they want to be in the first place. So maybe there is a divine move to say, listen to me, are you with us or not? And so sometime will define that. And the ones who are not supposed to be there, they're going to slowly fall out. I've heard folks say, so interesting, that they have been on webinars for 4 or 5 hours. Why is that long in the past? It's in the past, of course. But when we were there, we weren't forced to be there. We wanted to be there. Whether it was half an hour or whether it was 2 hours or 5 hours, we enjoyed that thing. All right. Because we wanted to be there. So folks have a way of just trying to belittle. And my only feedback for those people who might have been a part of this, who got discouraged, who got turned off. That's my only sadness about that. But again, you mentioned about the process. And when I think of the process, it means time. And sometimes time just has to work for itself. There's nothing like time. There's a thing that's said in the Bible, in the fullness of time. And for those of you who know the Bible, there was a time that the Savior had wanted, I know that he was going to die. But before that time, you could not take him out. Whether from a baby, they tried to take him out as a baby. Before, when he was ministering, they tried to take him out as well. He said, no, I'm going to lay down my life. I'm ready now. So in the fullness of time, and things are going to happen just the way it needs to happen. Comfort. So I yield.
No, powerful, bro. I like it when you mention, Christ and all of those things because it kind of relates. Whether some people see it or not, I do, right? But let me read a few comments here because I'm just appreciating our family for doing a good job of supporting you and myself. Hi, sis.
Yes, yes, yes.
That's sister Lily there, Lily Jackson.
Oh,
I hope
Lily,
you,
all
yeah.
right.
I hope you're having fun wherever you are now, missing
Yes,
you and
yes.
hoping to have you back in the next couple of days. So
That's
she says, waiting is also an occupation. It's having nothing to wait for that would suck, right? But thank God, there's something great to wait for. This is very, very important. Like I know some time ago I had Julie went here. Julie said, waiting is an action. So I understand when my sister says it is an occupation, it's an action. Waiting is not dormant, waiting is not dead, waiting is doing something, waiting
yes.
for something. It's a whole thing, it's a whole process. So let's enjoy it because you're waiting for something great, something that will
Mhm.
not only change your life, but will change your life, change your community and the world at large. And then from my sister or brother here, I just want to read these few comments, Brother Keith, before we move on, because I can't
Yes.
read all, but I'll read a few.
We love the comments. We love the
Yes,
comments. Keep it coming. Keep
yes.
it coming, y'all. Keep it
So
coming.
Great the Great says Pi Network lasted for 6 years before coming to the limelight. Today, the world and all its community members are so happy that their vision finally has come through together with those that never believed Pi. Right? The day it came out, that was the 20th of February. I had to do a quick research because it was just all over the place. Pi, 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 Pi. So I had to do a quick read. I realized that the Pi community were promised that they would go to the mainnet 2.5 years before the 20th of February 2025. And they
Mm.
waited. They waited. And again, this takes me back to when I said we are actually approaching phase 2 of our business because phase 1 has been there and it's been successful, whether anybody likes it or not, Brother Keith. We know what we
Yes.
have seen. We know where it all started from nothing to where it is today. When Mr. Mufaro first made that video, that audio, no face, nothing, that was the start of it. And something started from there. It started by one person joining, 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, 5 people. When we reached 10,000 people, they were celebrating 100,000. How many are we now? Million plus. Who is saying we did not succeed? We did. We're approaching phase 2 of our business, and nobody calls it not successful, except you don't know what you are talking about, right? So when I looked at Pi, I said, Pi is here for 6 years. We are here for 6, getting to 7 years. We've already made something, and we are waiting for something bigger. Because if it's not big, if it's not extraordinarily big, illogically big, it's not Mr. Mufara. So let's just go for it. I think
Yes.
there's just fun in waiting, and let's wait and expect and be happy and celebrate and get ready because there's just so much And then I get another comment from Great the Great. Let's take away the negative impact over our noble company and continue to support Mr. Ash and believe we will get to the end successfully. Then everyone will be happy. Definitely would really do appreciate all of these comments. Like my brother Keith says, kindly keep the comments coming, because some people come,
Yes.
if they cannot understand me and they don't understand Brother Keith, your support
Yes.
will make it finally make sense. That's
Yes.
why we're a community. That's why we're a family. That's why we are a team, right? So maybe if it's making sense, why not give us some thumbs up out there, because it takes this video to gives it more exposure. We are going to appreciate thumbs up, and if you want to subscribe, that will help as well. So yeah, we there's just so much fun for some of us to wait, and we're so excited that people think we're mad, but I'm just happy to be mad about what Mr. Mufara is doing
And you know what, Comfort? Somebody might be watching it and saying,
Yeah.
what business and what is it and what's the name and all that stuff. But what we're trying to impart to you, the viewer, is this: is something about an ideology. It's something about a
Yes.
mythology that is so important beyond just a name. Name can come and name can go. A name can be transformed or changed or added to. All right. Many
Yep.
companies have merged and they've just kind of merged their names and do something different. But is the company operating well? Now, whether there is 100,000 people that's here, or 500,000 people or more, the idea is that when this thing comes out with the ideology and the mythology, I believe it's going to move like lightning speed because of what it brings to the world. Some things are just pretty much common sense. It's pretty much how people operate. People want value, flat out, and people want cost to be good for their pockets. All right, they want value, and that is exactly what this company is bringing. Now, we've said to you before that as Phase 2 present itself, if you're new, you can send in your name and an email, maybe a number. So you'll be notified. You can also subscribe. That's the easiest way. And so that way, when we do have that information, you'll get it right there and then. All right. So whether we have 100 people, even if we have 100 people now, 100 people only, based on what's been built, the minute it releases, it's going to take on such a wildfire kind of thing that is going to be shocking to where it goes. And that's the good thing about what we're sharing. It's a kind of an easy approach. I mentioned about on my last video I had with Comfort, that you think about an email. There was a time when email was not anything that we know about, and look at what happened now. Just about everyone that we know, we don't ask if you have an email. We ask you, please send me an email. We don't ask if you have one. We say, send me your email. All right, because it has become such a normal way of living. That's what's going to happen when you have something like this that is super friendly, super easy. You're pushing people first, not profits. And I believe that it's going to take on a life of its own, and we're going to be blown away how fast it's going to move and spread.
Indeed, indeed. So as we gradually go towards the end of this, let's quickly have a quick another sweet look at trusting the process again. So when you're
Yes.
trusting the process, it means you are having faith in a plan, even when the results they are not immediate. That's what's just happening here. We have faith in Mr. Mufari's plan. His business model is superb, top notch. We have faith in it, and we know that even if the results are not here right now, if we even look at it well, we are just the pioneers. We are just the fortunate ones who are pioneering this whole thing. But the real people who have this smooth running are our children and their generations. That not canceling the fact that our lives will definitely change before we hand it down to our generations. So it's something really big, it's something massive. So if we want to look some key things we want to be doing now, let's focus on the journey. and not on
Yes.
the goal, and not on the goal, right? Because you
Yes.
focus on the goal, you are going to stop. Or there's an obstacle here in front of you. You are not seeing because you are only looking right at the front. You are already looking beyond the tunnel when you are still far back. If you drive like that, you are going to hit a target. You are going to hit the wall before you get out beyond the tunnel to see what the light that is out there. So it's always one step at a time. If you want to abandon the journey and start concentrating on the goal, then something is wrong. You are taking the second step before the first, and then it doesn't work like that, I believe. We just want to embrace uncertainty and believe in this plan. What is killing us is just like people don't think about what ifs of anything we do in life, because no matter how sure, how positive you are starting anything new or do anything at all, always think about the what if at some point, and then you prepare yourself for the what if, right? Because these what ifs are what make it stronger, are what make it even better than you had planned. Because I believe that when Mr. Mufari finally resurfaces what we saw and what we blew our mind last time, I'm not sure, because we're going to be crying blood and not tears anymore, but we already shed tears in the past. I don't want to believe that Mr. Mufari is sitting there and just wasting his time. He is that kind of person who wants it beautiful and then more beautiful again. He'll keep fine tuning and then cleaning it with the microfiber cloth, making sure that glittering and all the time and shiny and beautiful, not like the shiny objects anyway, just clean and sweet and marshmallowish. Listen, we just want to be patient. We want to be resilient, because this is happening. It is
Yes.
not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. And the when is coming. The when will announce itself through the products, through the change of our lives, through the things that we're doing, moving around and changing lives. Hello? Listen, brother Keith, I just let you go.
Listen. You are saying the things I'm thinking. In my hand is a phone. I won't give the brand. I'm not trying to get no free commercial points here, but it's a phone in my hand. And I remember some years ago when they had a phone release date. I don't remember the year, but some years back. And it was been worked on. It was not out yet. They talked about the date that it was going to be released. Coming close to the date, something happened. And they had to delay and push back the date. The phone is still out. It still came out anyway, right? So the point is that what we're doing now, we're being more proprietary. It means that now we're saying less and we're doing more.
Yeah.
So don't be deceived because you're not hearing all those things that you call them niceties, right? But the point is that this phone and the one that you have in your hands had a starting date when they started making it, didn't it? Did you hear about it? Was it announced how it was going to be have the glass and what shit they were going to use in there and what kind of thing they had going having this phone? Did it tell you on when they were doing it? No, they did not. But were they working on it? Yes, they were. Where's the phone now? Is it in your hands? It's in your pocket? Is it in your car? It's in your desk? Where's that phone? So think about it, folks. It's real. So just the way things are in the past, we are doing things. It's been worked on, and eventually it will be revealed. And so we are encouraging you: do not be sidetracked by negative naysayers. Stay focused. And I tell you, the least that can happen is what? You lose money? I don't think so. Lose time? I don't think so. All right. So lose some friends because what you shared with them didn't work? I don't think so. So the point is that we off to a good start, and like um, so many of us say in this movement here, we just have to go through the process. And I think this topic is very fitting. And we here trying to just let you know that we're here with you, and we just want to encourage you. And we're not here to beat you with a bat over your head, saying don't go nowhere. You can do whatever you want to do. You can go to east, west, north, or south. We're here because we have no doubt. All right. And we believe that if we just trust the process, trust what the CEO is doing, we'll eventually reap the rewards. Rome was not built in a day. All right. And so we have to expect that it's nothing new under the sun. We're going to see what's begun, we're going to see to its completion. I'm excited.
I am as well. So I will be closing on this note. Lily Jackson says, what Ash is doing is rare. It does not make sense in today's world of selfishness, but those who recognize his sacrifice will be forever grateful. And of course, my sister
Profound, profound.
Says,
Yes.
Birgit says, I believe so too, Lily, because I also do believe. That's
Yes.
why I'm here. That's why we all are here, right? So it's a done deal, guys. We are fine. That's my brother
Yeah.
Oliver. We are fine. That's it. Things would never ever be the same again. If you don't believe it now, you will believe it tomorrow. If you want to
Yes.
go around to play, you just want to go and play before you come back, keep your accounts. This
That's
is
right.
different. Yes.
That's right.
Thank you, guys. Yes. So we thank you so much. We appreciate you for coming and supporting Brother Keith and myself. So you'll be seeing us, like we said, you'll be seeing us very quite often.
Quite
It's just
often.
like, yes, we would like people to join us anytime. Sometimes we miss out. People might like to join us. We don't know, or we want to join you. We want to invite you on board. We don't know how to get you. So let's keep in touch, guys. We just want everybody here. We want everybody to come here and share their excitement, and let's keep it going. Let's keep the fire burning because the future is bright, guys. Thank you, and of course, thank you, Brother Keith. See you
Yes.
guys tomorrow.
Pleasure being
Thanks.
here. We see you again next time, God, folks.
Sure. Thanks. Bye.
Bye bye.